Boy, I tell you, listen, welcome back to the channel, y'all. So, without further ado, man, let's get right into the material. I forgot what award show I just watched, and I'm a little bit late on it, but Kirk Franklin performed, and Kirk Franklin brought back so many teenage years memories. Because when I was a teenager, Kirk Franklin was popping, and Kirk Franklin made the thugs want to go to church. He had those who would never go to church out on the streets worshiping. He changed the game, how the music would reach the people. Of course, a bit controversial in his style and delivery and whatnot, because the elders would be like, that ain't of God. And no man of God should be dressing like that. And I don't condone how he carry himself. But Kurt was like, I ain't doing nothing wrong. I'm not out here, showing nakedness and whatever else. And I'm listening to the words and the message and what I'm doing. Anyways, of lately, Kirk Franklin's son has been at the forefront of many conversations. Kirk Franklin's son leaves fans speechless. Shout out to Atlanta Black Star News. He has left fans speechless after claiming that the scars on his back are proof of years of parental abuse. Now, we got to get to the bottom of this story. No pun intended. Is he accusing Kirk Franklin and his mother of doing this to him? Because I don't know if y'all seen the scars. But the scars looks like a whooping that Kunta Kinte got in Roots when they were trying to get him to say that his name was Toby. If you ain't never seen Roots, go watch Roots. So the son of gospel singer Kirk Franklin is making waves on social media once again after posting a picture of the back scars he says he received as a child. Somebody beat him all over his back, tore his skin up. His name is Kerryon Franklin. Kerryon shared photographs on Instagram on September 15th, and he says that he was beaten black and blue since he was in the first grade by people he called parentals who enjoyed expressing rotten rage. The picture that he showed featured Kerryon with multiple scars, deep scars in his flesh all over his back. He shared the pictures of his back with a lengthy caption that said, quote unquote, "These scars all over my back are not sex stories. Breaks my heart all over again when people ask, 'cause I wish that was the case. Pain is the only feeling that's familiar for me, but whatevs. And for the record, these scars are symbols. They really sign of many secrets that I keep bottled up since I was a baby, being beat black and blue since first grade." He then added that he walked with war and betrayal in his posture, and that the scars were his only childhood memories. He said parentals enjoyed expressing rotten rage in many ways as punishment/consequences. Not that anyone cares about compassion, consideration. These scars are the only memories I have of my childhood. I'm trying to think, like, why is he keep using I instead of just I one time? He is seen in the picture around what looks like either editing or music producing equipment. Fans reacted. And of course the fans are going to react. It's a ghastly picture. Fans reacted after seeing the pictures of the neighborhood talk On the neighborhood talk on Instagram, one fan said, Kirk did that? As in Kirk Franklin, the famous gospel singer, performer, entertainer. Kirk did that? I was just wondering that too. Another person said, like, huh? This gotta stop. Another person said, delete this, bro. Entirely. Too many images of you without these scars. Seek real help, but start by removing this damn post. Wow. So somebody said there are entirely too many photos out there of him as an adult without those scars. So how could it be that these are childhood memory scars when we've seen pictures, many pictures of you before, your back showing, and there weren't any scars like these on you before? Interesting. Maybe he was putting makeup on them. I don't know. Somebody else says, this is weird because he is shirtless with smooth skin in old videos, and now this, and he's claiming childhood abuse. Kirk Franklin and his son, they were estranged, weren't talking to each other, apart for several years after Carry On leaked a profanity-laced recording of Kirk Franklin yelling at him. Now, of course, that had a lot of people looking at Kirk Franklin sideways like, oh my God, do you speak like that? Because, you know, he's a huge superstar and in the gospel genre at that. So people have him on a pedestal as somebody who never falls down, right? So the recording was shared in 2021 and Kirk Franklin was screaming, saying stuff like, I will put my foot in your ass, as well as he said, I will break your neck. Carry On was born to Kirk Franklin and his mother, Sean Ewing, when they were teenagers. So his parents were teens. And the mother later defended her ex, Kirk Franklin, on Instagram, saying that her son was in a bad place. He was hurting because he was raised by teenage parents. So during a 2021 interview, now I don't know if that's a sign of them admitting guilt or what, but during a 2021 interview on the Larry Reed live show, Carry On said that his parents were more focused on themselves than they were on him. They would leave him to be watched by multiple different people, and these multiple different people physically abused him. So maybe that's who he is calling parentals. Now, as a kid, right? According to him, he said, as a kid, right? My dad was focused on becoming his best self. And my mom was, you know, she was, she was trying to do her thing, going to school, you know, working. So I was babysat by a lot of people. And that kind of put me in some unfortunate, rough situations. He then said that he was physically abused by multiple people. Okay, so he's not necessarily saying that Kirk Franklin and his mama did that to him. He's saying that the people who they left him with did that to him. Frank, he later apologized. And he said that the recordings were from two separate occasions. And he also said that this is Kirk Franklin, the father, the famous dad. He later apologized, you know, and he said that it's two separate recordings from two separate occasions. And he and Carry On did not speak for about 5 years. I hadn't talked to my son in 5 years when he called me. But I do want people to know that I love him. And I want the world to hear it loud. I love my son. Man, I think this is, do you tell your son that you love him? You want the world to hear it loud that you love him, but does he know that you love him? Because that's what Kirk Franklin said. He said, I hadn't talked to my son in 5 years when he called me. But I do want the world to know that I love him. I want the world to hear it loud. I love my son. According to Vibe, the father and son did repair their relationship a few years later. Kurt went on to say, I know my son, and my conversations with him have always been a consistent one. I love you, and my love for you is not based on who you love. I love you, and that is my answer. That's my answer as a Christian father who believes in the text. I love you, and my love for you does not waver based on who you love. So when I heard that part, I love you, and my love for you does not waver based on who you love, I kind of ran over and started doing some more investigation. Is Kirk Franklin's son, Carry On, gay? Well, this is what I found. The answer said yes. Kirk Franklin's son, Carry On Franklin, is or identifies as bisexual. He disclosed his sexuality in 2022 on the reality show called Bad Boys Los Angeles after being pressured by another cast member to come on out the closet. His father, Kirk Franklin, has publicly acknowledged this and discussed his son's bisexuality. Wow. Okay, so there's some kind of rift there, uh, and his son is fighting his own demons. And I don't know if daddy is so accepting of that part of his life. I mean, given that you are a gospel singer that is held to a pretty high standard by everybody in that world, your son can't just be around here a flamboyant, flaming homosexual and you're all in cahoots with it. So I'm sure that Kirk Franklin has to find ways to be politically correct to satisfy both sides of the spectrum. If he goes completely against his son, he will have the complete Rainbow Coalition, LGBTQ community, gay people all against him. And if he goes completely for his son and says, I don't care what the text says or the Bible says, he will have his core audience, Christian people, against him. He's put in a tight spot, no pun intended. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. I don't know what to say because I'm looking up old videos to see if those scars were there already or not, or if he just added those scars, crying out for more attention, or what. Either way, I'm not at liberty to tell somebody what their truth is. They know their truth better than I do. What would you do if you were Kirk Franklin and that was your son? And I'm thinking also, who did they leave him with to watch him while he was growing up that would have scarred him in those ways, that left those kind of marks on him? And how could they not have seen it as parents? Leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll catch you on the next video. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.